Where are we going, Marvel? Are we going to the garden? Well, come on. Let's go. Take you guys down to the garden. Come on, bud. He just grabbed his toy. He always brings a toy out. And usually leaves it about halfway. So we'll drop it probably pretty soon. Wow, I don't think the toys ever made it this far. Oh, there it is. So there's a gully that runs through here. Comes from this other property beside us. Runs across the road and then comes down in here. And I find a lot of junk down in there. And that's where the old car is down there, overturned. And I think, I don't know whether they did it on purpose, if they put it down there for erosion control, or if it washed down there. I would love to know the story of it, but it's like an old truck, we think. It's mostly gone. Pretty much just a frame at this point, but it's pretty cool still. This hill gets me because it's pretty steep. It's a lot steeper than it looks in the picture, and it's pretty hard whenever you're bringing produce back and forth on those watermelons and the cantaloupe. It's a lot. You have to make multiple trips. So there's the garden, and this used to be an open space that the previous owner had cleared out, I think because he was going to put a house up here. But it worked out really well for me. I had a nice open space to start with. And this is a 2,500 square foot garden. And I did all this myself. Fence, everything. There's a bunch of Thai cane cob growing on the fence. Oh, got a grasshopper. I see you. There's a bunch of them. I'm gonna have tons of these. And I've got cardboard laid down because this is a really easy way to build beds. You can put cardboard down and then put compost or your mix of soil or whatever you choose right on top. And so it works out really well to choke out the weeds and give your plants a good base. But this is the craziness that's going on in here. Everything's pretty grown together at this point. That was not what I had planned, but there were rows in there. And there's actually fabric down in there where you could walk if you could get between, but it's just going nuts. I had no idea that it would take off like this, so I really did not plan for this amount of growth. I've got a bunch of herbs over here in the herb beds, and this is all purple hull peas. There were 3 rows, and like I said, there were spaces in between there, but there's not now. And there's an arbor over there that has more peas on it, and they're up so high now I can't even reach them. The tomatoes over here got away from me. They grew like crazy, and obviously they're dying back now, but I couldn't get them all tied up, or they broke back or whatever, so there's a lot of them completely on the ground. I put a couple of squash plants in over here where I just had some space, and they don't even have irrigation like the rest of the garden, and they look gorgeous. I mean, I just cannot believe that this garden has done what it has done with me not even being here to keep an eye on it. It's just been phenomenal. And I've left this corner and kind of this back fence kind of go. We have so many pollinators, and I felt like it was really a good thing to just keep. There were a bunch of black-eyed Susans in here, and there's all kinds of stuff. Getting to the point now where I'm probably going to go ahead and cut this back, but there's some eggplant down here. See, they're hiding in there. I need to pick those. And this is crazy how many peppers are on these plants. There's so many. It's overwhelming. And there's a couple of those. This one's a little bit smaller, but. And then these are all purple holes, which I just picked. Literally, I picked a whole thing earlier. It's crazy. I swear, every time I come out here, there's more of them. My little bean tunnel. See, I can't even reach. I can't. There's tons of them up in there. That's as far as I go. Stuff being short. And sorry, I got distracted. There was a grasshopper over there. The squash and everything has just gone completely nuts. The Thai cane cob that's growing everywhere along the fence now actually comes from a little plant right in here somewhere. I think there was like 2 plants. And so all along the fence, all the way around the fence, that's how far, and over here, there's one way over here. That's how far that plant has gone. They're way over here. So 2 of those plants have gone all this way. And it's just phenomenal. This one's getting really close. It's starting to change colors. And they say whenever you can, when you can't pierce it with your fingernail very easily, that it's time to pick it. And this one I still can, so I'm going to give it just a little bit more time. But I've got more growing on the fence just everywhere. I mean, all the way back here. It's crazy. And I've got a lot of okra in here. I just picked some, so what's left right now is really big. And I'm going to go ahead and let it stay because I didn't catch it in time. But this is going to mean I'm going to go ahead and let all this go to seed. I'll still be harvesting some, but all this big stuff in here, I'll just let it go to seed, and then I'll have plenty of seed for next year. I mean, look, there's huge ones on there. And they're no good when they get to that size. I need to go ahead and pick squash. I've got more squash. Forgot about it. There's actually quite a bit in here. And there's a huge zucchini over here. I don't know how these things get away from me. How they grow so fast. But there's a huge squash in there. And a Thai cane cob right beside it. I've got some watermelons still going. All of this is starting to die back now. Which is kind of good because I want to plant some more things. But all of this, all of what's growing on the fence is actually growing off of these plants that are dying back here. So I'm going to have to be careful about what I pull up. Vines like this do start to root again when they get a little bit, they root along the way. So there is a chance that some of this is rooted. And so I'll kind of trace it back, see what I can find. Ooh, that one's going to be a little guy. See if I can find, if any of them are rooted in, then I can pull up maybe some of the main plants. See, this is an issue. They're splitting right here on the vine, and you can see that's not anywhere near being ready. And it's just splitting, and normally that's from so much water, but it hasn't rained in this last week, so I'm not really sure why it's doing that. But anyway, this is my garden. It is really super gone crazy. Got my little browse up there for this other cantaloupe. And this one that was in that one actually detached, and I found it on the ground, but it was actually beautiful. It was in beautiful shape. So it's still good. But it's gone. I mean, it's just done phenomenally, and it's so much better than what I ever could have expected. This garden has just really been phenomenal. It has done so much more than what I expected it to do. So I didn't plan properly whenever I put a lot of these rows and stuff in. I had no idea it was gonna go like this without me even being here. I don't maintain this. It's on its own. It has a drip tape, so it does get water, but it's produced so much. It's just unbelievable, and I am so blessed. And it shocks me every time I come out here and I see more stuff. I keep thinking it's done, and it's not. It just keeps going crazy. But this is my blessing. This is my happy place. And even though it looks like a mess, I'm gonna call this chaos gardening. It is working, and I'm gonna keep on with it because it's working, and I'm able to give food to a lot of my family and friends, and that is such a good feeling.